having advised the National Commissioner to terminate the contract with Medicare to save the SAPS from irreparable harm and to diminish the financial prejudice being suffered by the SAPS, General Masemula ultimately terminated the contract with Medicare on or about the 15th of May. By that time, SAPS had suffered prejudice of approximately 50 million.
And that prejudice of 50 million being what SAPS was obligated to pay in terms of the contract. That's what you call prejudice.
At that time, when she told him about the termination, she indicated this contract is unlawful and should be stopped. So I don't know how the payments then become legitimated. So I understand that the system in terms of the system, there is a contract, till it is stopped, payments will continue. I understand this to read.
Advocate Johnson, apologies.
Sorry.
You and I know she has no power to invalidate a contract which on the face of it is valid. So when she says stop that contract, in what capacity? She's not a court.
She's not a court, no.
Yes.
But she is the risk, she's the head of risk and integrity, and she is saying to him that this contract has been unlawfully awarded and we need to stop the contract. She says because of the time that has passed, the payments went out.
Sorry, this affidavit doesn't say when she told him to stop. So on this affidavit, at least we who are reading it now, and maybe you had other information that is not in the affidavit. On this affidavit, we don't know whether she told him in January, whether she told him on the 14th of May, and what the expenditure was by the time she told him when it dawned on her that this contract should be terminated. So it's not, what you're telling us now is not in the affidavit, so maybe tell us, where did you get it from that she told him to terminate, he did not, and in the intervening period after that, and the 15th of May, 50 million rand was spent, which would not have been spent had he acted when she told him. There's facts that are not contained in this affidavit, and they hold only if you got them in another way.
I understand. It's how I read the affidavit, that there is, in paragraph 2, there's an unlawful awarding of a tender to Medicare for a period of 3 years to the value of 360 million. She sets out that she suspects that
please
the processes are flouted.
Allow me to stop you. You have accepted in your discussion with Ms. Sillo that the only mention of General Masemula is paragraph 8. That's the first time she says anything about him. That doesn't mean that she has not investigated and this is what she has found. She has done that. That's why she gives you the background story in this affidavit. And then at paragraph 38, she says something that now directs to General Masemula. And in fact, on a reading of this paragraph, the way she says it, she may not have intended to, but the way she says it is, I advised him to terminate and he did terminate. That's what paragraph 8 tells you. You say, well, she told him earlier, he took his own time to terminate when she had told him earlier. And all I'm putting to you is that which you are saying doesn't arise from this affidavit. On a sensible reading of this affidavit, and paragraph 8 in particular, or any paragraph in the affidavit, those facts that you are now speaking to are not here. Where did you get them from?
Commissioner Baloy, I read paragraph 8 as her having advised him to terminate the contract. General Masemula ultimately terminated the contract. That he does. I read it from that ultimately there wasn't an immediate action. It was
Yeah.
ultimately terminated, and then prejudice was suffered. I don't take it from anywhere else, but just that reading.
But you see, to criticize him for not terminating immediately, you must know when was he informed.
I understand.
Logic dictates that.
It doesn't come out of here.
Yes, and that's a simple point I'm making, that on this paragraph in the whole affidavit, we don't know when she told him, right? So if we don't know when she told him, we are not in a position, and that you must accept, we are not in a position to say he delayed actioning her advice because she doesn't tell us when she informed him. We are not in a position to say because of his delay after she advised him, SAPS incurred 50 million rand expenditure, which it would not have incurred. It's not, there aren't facts in this affidavit that make us able to conclude that therefore he delayed and he's liable, he failed to secure the monies or the assets of SAPS. You accept that?
I accept that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I take it that it is General Matlo's affidavit that triggered the IDAC investigative powers and eventual prosecution of however many accused there are. Am I correct?
Correct.
You recall we started this conversation having considered what you stated, what you discussed with members of ad hoc. And there I referenced page 586 where Mr. Ngola told you that there was an allegation that IDAC is actively participating in a well-coordinated attack against General Mkwanazi, General Masemula, and General Khumalo. Are you aware of it? You said you've heard of that allegation, but there's no truth to it. After this entire exercise we've gone through, do you still maintain that there is no truth or there is no basis to even believe such a narrative or an allegation?
Chair, I maintain that there was no, sorry, I don't have my file for the,
No, ask
if you
me,
just
I'll-
repeat the words.
the engagement at ad
Ad
hoc?
hoc, yes.
It is it's file 3, page 586.
Sorry, file 3. Sorry, Chair.
It's quite in order, page 586.
586.
Midway the page. This is after, I guess it will be faster to find your own name, after you say that is correct. Then Mr. Ngola puts the question, there is an allegation. And then that's immediately followed by your response, and then you reference other criminal matters within the IDAC space. And you conclude, while we're at it, with the words, there is also no witch hunt against Lieutenant General Khumalo because there were no matters brought to IDAC prior to the referral by Mr. Adams. That's the part I'm reading. And I can very well perhaps appreciate the position you were in at the time you responded. Mine is slightly different. Do you still maintain the position after our 1.5 days of engaging with specifically decisions by IDAC targeting, no, wrong word, aimed at least 2 of these generals and the PKTT? Can you still say the narrative is baseless?
Chair, the response I have is, at no stage did any of these cases start on the basis of wanting to target any individual, even those that I mentioned. We dealt with the investigations. In the course of these 2 days of engagements, and in the manner in which we have engaged, we would have to accept that we could have done things differently and or could have done things better. But that does not in itself make it a witch hunt or a target. They were not targeted at all. I accept that process is criticized. The manner in which things were done were criticized. I accept that criticism, Chair. And what I'm saying is that shortcoming does not make a targeting. It does not make it a witch hunt. It does not of itself say, we did it this way just to get to them. In the manner that these matters were presented, it is clear, and from the lengthy debates that poor Chair has had to have with me in getting us to understand our logic versus that logic, it is clear that we worked on what we had, interpreted the law as we have. There is a difference of opinion, and that difference of opinion, Council, highlights that things look the way they do and should have been done differently.